Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. In this video specifically we're gonna show another option of backup where you can protect your system and guarantee the rule 3-2-1. It means that you're gonna have 2 copies of the same data local, and then after you need to have 1 copy of your data outside your network, outside the premises that you are working. This one will be a local option, and that will be backup all your data from one Synology NAS to another Synology NAS. In this way, if one of those fail, you still have the data in the other one, and that you can recover it. Remember, this backup option will guarantee that it's not only a copy, it's not only a sync, it will be a proper backup, and that you can have different revisions. Also, you can guarantee that the second equipment will not be able to read this information unless you permit it. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave a like, consider for subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. First thing, you need to have 2 Synologies. Not ideal to have a virtual machine, but in this video I will show with a virtual machine, but you need to have 2 Synologies. The first one is the Synology that will do the backup, and the second one that will keep this backup safe. So in the case that one fail, you still have the data in the other one. So in this way, we come here in our computer. First thing, we have 2 machines. The first one will be alpha and the second one will be beta. Remember, alpha will be a physical Synology and beta will be a virtual machine, what it's not advised to do, but only to show how I can do it, I did it this way. Before we start to do any backup, we need to do some base configuration. The first configuration that we need to do is create a folder where they will save the backup. If I come here in control panel and share folders, I have lots of folders, but this folder I create specifically to keep my backup. I cannot do backup my homes because it's a folder that the Synology creates, and I cannot create in my photos because as well Synology created this one. This reason that I create a folder called backup. Other thing that I did in this folder, if I come here edit and permissions, I only give permissions for this user Sauber-Lab. All the rest of the users don't have permission for my folder. And this is good because if anyone else try to access or try to delete or try to do anything, will not be able to do it. So only my admin have access, and only this user will be allowed to see and allowed to accept this backup. So once that I define this one, I can save this information. The second thing that you need to have in this Synology will be this follow application. So if I close here and come here in my pack center, here in my pack center, I need to guarantee that this hyper backup vault is installed. And this one that we're gonna control the backup. So if I open here, they don't have any task or any backup on it. Now that I have these 2 things set, I can come here in my alpha where I want to do the backup, and I come here in pack center, and I need to have this hyper backup installed. Once that I have this hyper backup installed, I can open this application. And once that I open, I will have this page. What it's important to you to remember is that if I select this entire system, it means that all my system will be backed automatically. I cannot select what I want to backup or not. If I have 10 terabytes of data and my other Synology have 5 terabytes of space, I will not be able to backup everything. So only have this one in mind. Because I want to be a fast backup, only to show you guys, I will come here and put folder and packaging. And I put next. In this case, I will use Remote NAS Device and put next. Here that I will create a task. First thing, I need to select the IP address of my machine. So I'll come here and click. What they're gonna do, they will scan all my network, and once that this one finish, they will give all this knowledge that I can do the backup. In this case, I will have my beta. So they should appear the same IP address of my beta. And here I can select beta, that will be exactly the same IP address, and I come here in my encryption data. Because I'm using the same network, I can leave as off or I can leave as on. If I leave as on, once that I try to access it, because they will look for protocol HTTPS, they will have some conflict. If I leave it off, they will not try to do it. So we can leave it off because it's in the same network. The port I can leave exactly the same unless I have a valid reason to change. I can leave the same port and put login. Once that I put login, they will appear this page where I can do the login. My beta user will be Sauber-Lab. I'll put next. Now that I'm looking as a Sauber-Lab, I can select which folder that I want to do backup. Remember that I told that you should create this folder backup, because if I come here, those two is reserved for the system, so I cannot backup on it. I can select backup and automatically they will get the directory name. I can change the way that I want, but I do believe that this one will be fine. If I already create a backup before, I can only relink it and that it will sync the information and you don't need to do backup from zero, but in my case it's the first time, so I'll leave alpha. Now I can come here and put next. Now I select what folder that I want to do backup. In my case, I will only want to do backup in this active backup for business, because basically don't have anything and will be really fast. Anything else will take some time and I want to avoid it. So I'll put next. And here will be the applications that they will do the backup. If I come here in Synology Photos, here we'll find all the informations that they will save for the Synology Photos. If I have defined faces, location, any other information, they will save it for the next Synology. In the case that I lose access for this Synology or my hard drive fail or anything else, I can still recover exactly the same information. In my case, I will only select this application because I want to be fast and put next. Now I can define the name of the task. I can put the name as a beta because I'm backuping everything in my beta server. Here I can put enable task notification. It means that I will receive automatic notifications for my mail when they finish or when they start. Other thing, I can put enable log. If anything changed, they will give a log what has been changed. In this way, I know that's that file change or that file change for save myself. Other thing, I can select compress backup data. If you're using lots of media, pictures, videos and other things, this backup compress will not make any difference because video and pictures cannot compress so much, but you have a lot of files, Word, Excel, everything, they will compress quite well. So I will select this one, and here I can make automatic tasks. If I unselect it, I need to go manually and select to do backup, otherwise I can define that every day at 3 o'clock in the morning they will backup my system. Other thing that's really interesting for you is to leave this enable integrity check schedule, what will guarantee that if you have any data that's failed or has been corrupted, they will fix it or at least advise for you perform another backup and guarantee that all the data that you have it's good and valid. So now I can leave this information, and if I want to protect my data, I can put enable client-side encryption. I will do one time with this option disable and another time with this enable for you understand how it's work. So now I can put next. I can leave this information for retention. What I suggest is to select this smart retention because they will give a really long time. If you have 256, in the case of early, will have 9 months of data. If you select the smart, they will have 4 years of data. Of course, after some period of time, the backup will be more split or more space between backups, but at least you know that you have the data from the last 4 years. Also, it's important to remember that if you have lots of changes, this information or this backup will be big and will use more space in your system. So now I can put next, and here they will appear overview for all your system. So once that I put done, they will start to process this information and will appear here that the backup is already saved as a task. What they ask you, do the backup straight away to guarantee that all the data is there, so I'll put yes. And now they will start to process my backup and start to look for everything. Once that they are processing, I will do exactly the same stage, but I will select encrypt data. So I'll do exactly the same configuration. I have my alpha 2, I will put next. I select exactly the same folder, I put next. Only thing that I will do different, I will put enable encryption and I will put the password that I want. I suggest you put a strong password. then either that someone tried to brute force, they will save or guarantee that it will not be accessible. I'll put next. They will say that to access your backup you need to have your password or your encryption key. We're gonna do it in a second. I will put yes, and here will be exactly the same stage. Put next. Once that I put done, they will ask me to download the encryption key. Save it carefully, because with that encryption key you can access your backup, and if perhaps you forgot your password, you still be able to use this encryption key. If perhaps you lose both, your data is lost. It's really difficult to discover, principally that's if you put a really strong password. So put next, and now I put yes, I want to backup. Once that they start to backup everything, I will go in my second system and open my Hyper Backup Vouch. Here will be all the information for the backup. So I have Alpha 1, Alpha 2. Alpha 1 it's not encrypted, Alpha 2 is encrypted. If I have more revisions, they will appear everything here. If I click all the tasks, here is the tasks, and one thing that's important to remember, both work a little bit different. One, it's not encrypted, and if I come here, I have an overview for how much information that's used, what's the real size of my information. If I come here, I have 468 KB of data that I copy. In reality, I only use 132 KB, and the rest of the information is compressed. If I come here in the source, because I don't have any file, they will not appear what's the file. But if I had more files, they will appear what has been changed or how many has been changed for one backup to another. Now if I come here for version list, they will appear how many revisions that I have, and that's different from this second backup. This second backup has encryption. I can still see the same information. I can still see how much space that they're using, and I still be able to see how many files has been changed. But if I come here in revisions, they will ask my password. So we're gonna take my password, and now I can see what's a revision of backup. Not only it, we're gonna show what you can access as well if you are the admin for the other Synology. But before, we're gonna understand what's this information for settings. This information for setting will define how many backups can do simultaneously. If I leave only one, it means that if I have 2 NAS backup in the same time, they'll wait one to complete before they go for the second one. They're not allowed to do backup in the same time. So I come here, close, and I come here my file station. Here my file station, if I come here my backup, they appear the both backups. This one, Alpha 1 without encryption, I can still open here and I can see what has been backed up and all the files that's inside, and anything that has been changed for different dates. But if I come in the second one, I will not be able to do without my password or my encryption key. And if you have your encryption key, you can select encryption key, browse, and select your encryption key and put OK. Now you're going to be able to see exactly the same. Why I told that it's important to give the correct permissions, because either that I have backup here, my admin or the user that have permission for this folder is still be able to come here and delete this backup. What is not interesting, so leave only the admin or only specific user that have access. So if you want to create a user only to do backup, create a user only to do backup and give permission for that user only for that specific folder. So in this way, we arrive at the end of the video. In this video, I show how you can do a local backup. Next video, I will show how you can do a offsite backup using the same strategy. So if you like this video and think that it was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel, and see you next time. Bye.